everybody, and happy Monday morning/afternoon to you all as we're recording this. I'm Angela. I'm the meeting coordinator for VisionCast with JC and Friends. I'm also the host of Showcase Heaven and one of the fellow audio editors on the team. And today we have a bonus interview with somebody very special. You may have, if you're a member of the ACB, seen this woman before. She's been the host of several calls. I've seen her, I believe, on Playtime once. I've seen her, she's hosted a few calls that I've been in. Lately I've been kind of busy, so I haven't really been a part of. And my phone decides to go crazy now. Sorry about that. I have not been a part of the ACB calls in a while because I've been busy with work and everything else. But we are so glad to have her here. We're going to introduce her in just a moment. First, we'll introduce our usual crew. We have JC, our director and facilitator.
Hey guys, I hope you all are having a great day so far. And yes, we do have an interview in the pipeline, which is about to be in progress in a moment. So you can hear me on Wednesdays on the normal episode every Wednesdays at 3 p.m. Eastern. So don't fret, I'll be back again with normal episode on Wednesdays. And my little niece says hi, by the way, so.
Hello, Eliana. And we have our news anchor for the main episode, Preston.
Yep. Hello all, I'm doing good. It cooled down here about time. So I'm coming to you from my deck where temperatures are in the near 70 right now. So it feels good out here. But I'm very excited for what we're going to bring to you this time around. And hopefully you all will stick around and enjoy. So yeah, as always, it's awesome to be here.
Awesome. And we have George, who is my co-host and partner in crime.
Hello dear, how are you? Awesome to be here again, and looking for a great show.
Yep. And Haley had to work. Denny, I'm not sure where he's at. And
he did say in our recording from which is just uploaded that he may or may not be here. I'm not sure if he's still waking up or whatever the case may be, but I guess we'll find out when we find out.
Yeah. And of course, I think that's everybody. We didn't miss anybody. And Haley's not here because she's working. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce... I was about to say interview. We are going to interview her, but we need to introduce her first. Our guest that's going to be joining us this morning, my time, this afternoon, Eastern time, and all the way this evening, her time, as she's from good old United Kingdom. I almost had a girlfriend from the United Kingdom, but she and I both got cold feet because dating somebody overseas, it's hard enough dating somebody living across the country, such as George, but dating somebody overseas, ooh-wee. Anyway, we have our guest from the ACB. You may have seen her around before. Sandra Gayer. Hello, Sandra. Welcome, and thanks for joining us this evening.
Thanks. Good to be here.
Likewise. It's very awesome to meet you, Sandra. Actually, I have a quick question for you. Were you the one that did that interview job call a few weeks back?
Jobs World, yeah, it's on the first Wednesday of every month on ACB.
Oh,
so
gotcha.
That's where I help people who are looking for work. And I work too, by the way.
Thank you for all you do. I'm still in the hunting stage, but I'm actually going to a virtual workshop / interview hiring event Thursday that
Good.
few of my work colleagues sent out. So I'm going to be doing that Thursday afternoon. So if anybody needs me during 11 to about 2 or 3 Eastern, that's where I'll be. But yeah, I just want to say thank you for all you do. And yeah, I'm glad our paths crossed again. Oh, and speaking of our...
And there's Denny.
Yep.
And there's Denny. Hello, Denny. And you don't have to worry about hitting got it this time because I'm using a different source. to record.
Yeah, I was looking for that earlier. I was like, where is it? And then I was unmuted.
Yeah, I figured out how to record stereo shows. So yeah, I'm using Audio Hijack to record, and I'm using Loopback to pipe the sound through. So I'm a Mac user, so it's pretty cool.
Nice.
So, Sandra, if you wouldn't mind, maybe tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got involved in the ACB.
Well, my name is Sandra Gayer, and I'm a classically trained soprano singer. I'm also an actor on television, stage, and radio. I'm a radio broadcast presenter, voiceover artist, and I'm a Braille music teacher. I don't do all those at the same time. I'm good, but not that good. So I was born in Zambia in Africa, and I now live in England in the UK. I was born sighted, but I had bilateral cataracts as a baby, and then various operations led to the Brailleist I am today. And I trained as a singer at the Royal College of Music. Before that, as a little girl, I enjoyed various kinds of music, including the various lovely kinds like gospel music and Disney and musical theatre, verging to the, no taste whatsoever, like Spice Girls and other pop bands of that era. But then, we moved house, changed to secondary school, and got a classical teacher to extend my range, and found I could sing soprano. So I enjoyed singing as a soprano from then on. And as I say, trained as a singer at the Royal College of Music. I learned to read Braille music there as well, and I studied piano and composition. And after I left school properly, I was getting work on stage, and I became interested in radio, the RNIB, so that's the Royal National Institute of the Blind in the UK, which is a bit like ACB and NFB and various organizations, but it's where it all happens if you're a blind person or visually impaired or partially sighted or whatever we're supposed to be calling ourselves at the moment. It changes all the time. So they were doing a workshop about radio, and I went because I wanted to have a go on a mixing desk, and had a great time. Thanked the leaders because I wanted to know when they had the next 6-week course, and they invited me for a voice test. That was in, I think, 2009 or 10. It's 2022, I'm still there. So must have done something right. My radio program, The Music Box, is a classical music show. And that's 10 years old this year. So I'm doing some exciting interviews for that. So yeah, lots of fun there. And after doing some radio things and voiceover, which I also enjoy, including narrating audiobooks and cartoon voices and exciting things like that, I worked with different agencies, so different types of representation as an actor. And the agency I'm now with for acting is one that represents disabled performers. So that's where I've enjoyed and still enjoy lots of my television work there. So that, in rather a long nutshell, is me. And to answer your other question about how I got involved with ACB, I'm a member of various blind people listservs on the internet, and somebody posted something about an ACB event. I don't think I'd ever heard of ACB at the time. This was about 2 or 3 years ago when COVID got going, and people were finding themselves and learning languages and doing 1,000-piece puzzles. And it was, I think, a yoga event, and it was yoga for the blind, and there was a blind teacher, and I thought, oh, that's interesting. And the ACB community, in terms of Zoom calls and things, were quite small scale at the time, and they were building it up. And they mentioned at the time if we wanted to subscribe, to send an email somewhere. And I did that and joined various calls for about a year, and started thinking about the sorts of calls I would like to hear, because there were a lot of social calls at the time, and not as many as there are now, information-y, this is how you do this and that calls. It's changed a lot since then. But at the time, I thought, well, there's lots of socializing and things and not much about work or maths or stuff that I was just thinking about at the time. I wanted to and might do next year, put a word in Cindy's ear about doing a summer school for kiddos or something, because Hadley's withdrawn a lot of their basic, literacy and stuff courses, which I think is a shame, but I digress a bit. So I started a call. I did write to the team and suggested if I could start a call, because I wasn't sure if people outside America could even do that. And they liked that. So I started a call about jobs, so helping people find work. Then after a few months, I started one about bullying, because there are various people who get bullied, and it's important to learn how to cope and get strategies and things. So I do that. And recently I started one about prayer that isn't actually praying as such. It's about prayer. So for people who find it difficult and boring and maybe a bit pointless, and is God even listening to me, that kind of thing, where, there needs to be an avenue for that. There's various calls where people are really positive about prayer and are praying together, and that's really lovely. But I just felt like, where's the space of people who aren't into that? Because you know how you look at the numbers and you think, well, there's lots of people in this organization, but there's only this many in this call. Like, where are the other people who are not so jazzed about it? So that's what inspired me. So when I come up with a call, I just look for the gaps. So that's my introduction to ACB.
Wow, that's very interesting. And hello to Denise. Yes, we're interviewing Sandra Gayer from the ACB. And very interesting indeed. Very interesting story. I'm a voiceover artist as well. I have a side business in audio production. And yes, so actually I'm looking for somebody to do a Showcase Heaven intro. It'd be nice to have a female artist. That would be pretty cool.
Well, so you know where I live.
That is so cool. Sorry, I guess I forgot I was muted here.
Yeah, remember I'm recording an audio hijack now instead of Zoom.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
Yeah, there's no got it button now.
So you don't have to hit got it, because I'm recording externally.
Yeah, and to be quite honest, using audio hijack and loopback isn't difficult at all, but that seriously is a subject for another day.
Yeah. Well, I made a little bit of a technical error the last time, so hopefully this time I have it right.
Oh, dear. Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, I would definitely... I'd love some female voiceover talent, because I do voiceover talent as well, but it'd be cool to have somebody else do Showcase Heaven, because I do the intro, which I did finally get around to doing an intro specific to VisionCast. I'll have to send it to you, Denny. But yeah, it would be nice to have a Showcase Heaven intro with a UK accent. That would be cool.
Yeah. That would be awesome. And by the way, nice to meet you, Sandra. I'm Denny, the editor for the main episode. But it's that's awesome that you actually wear many hats as far as your talents go.
I know the feeling. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, I do the same myself. I'm an independent Christian singer, songwriter, and the whole nine. And so besides my music, I actually I obviously edit the main episode for the podcast, but also I make my own artwork. I can edit videos, and it's always good. It's always good to have many gifts and talents at your disposal. So.
I guess I forgot about this. I was like, wait a minute. Oh, yeah. Eastern time, 11. Anyway, I'm sorry. Well, my name is Denise, and I'm seriously barely awake. I'm like the earliest out of the whole bunch since I'm in the West Coast. And I honestly just had breakfast. I'm still not quite prepared for my day.
I like. I just got back from a dentist appointment, and I mentioned in the in the upload of the main episode that I wasn't gonna make it
Yeah.
because I'm a night owl, yeah, I'm just still sort of enjoying my coffee, so yeah.
Oh, yeah. You cannot go without your day without coffee. I think a lot of us can.
Yeah,
I
I'm
still
just
can make
saying.
mine.
Coffee
Thank
is
God.
banned in my household. It's illegal. Don't let my girlfriend catch you
no.
saying that. Don't let my girlfriend catch me saying that. But yeah, it's illegal in the Paulson house.
Oh, dear.
Anyway, no, yeah, I joke with her all the time, but we get her like her iced coffee drinks, and she orders from Starbucks all the time when she's here. But does anyone have any? As much as I love being the leader, I don't want to hog the mic. So does anyone else have any questions for our lovely guest?
Actually, I got one that kind of just came to mind since, we're talking to a person full of good talents and good resources. Hey, Sandra, what has been your favorite part about being a part of the ACB and doing what you do now with narrating and voiceovering and the whole 9 yards? I know you wear many hats as well.
My favorite part of ACB, I think it varies. It depends what mood I'm in. So sometimes, I think the most rewarding bit is helping people, especially with getting work and things. So I remember somebody who was going to my Jobs World call, and then she stopped coming for a bit. And then she came back about 6 weeks later to say she got a job. And I'm like, yes, it works. So,
Amen.
that tends to be, yeah, absolutely, and that's a rewarding moment. Sometimes it is fun just to be a participant and not wear the hats, but I do like facilitating and seeing results. My calls are strategy sort of calls rather than social calls. So sometimes people complain rather indignantly when they're on my calls that there should be more people in them. And my answer to that is that, I'd rather have, 3 to 5 to 10 people who actually need the help rather than 20 hangers on.
Yeah, there's a TikTok video that I actually made that actually displays that same point, and and it's also going to be in the in different interludes throughout my upcoming instrumental project,
Cool.
but I said being an independent artist myself, I know that my music might not reach millions, but as long as I make a positive impact, that's all that matters.
Yeah, I really liked that when I heard that one song. I was part of it, and that was really inspiring. But I do apologize, and I mean, forgive me for asking if this has been already mentioned before, but as I've already made it known, I'm pretty much a latecomer to this. So, Sandra, what do you do? Voiceover, and what else do you do? It sounds like you have a lot of things.
So yeah, I have a lot of things. So I'm a soprano singer, which means that I'm classically trained. So I trained at the Royal College of Music.
Oh, wow!
In London, England, a singer. And then second, third studies were piano and composition. So one of my compositions was commissioned for Wigmore Hall. So although I wear many hats, singing is my main hat, and then acting on television, on stage, and audio dramas is a, I suppose, secondary hat. Voiceover, and when I say voiceover, I mean animations, I mean corporate reading things, courses sort of thing.
I see.
Or adverts for things, and that can be on TV, that can be online. Most of my advertising on television has been on camera rather than behind it as audiobook narration. And that's reading aloud a lot, and I use Braille very heavily through my career, as you can probably imagine. So
it sounds to me like you do a lot. As far as your music, I kind of gravitate toward that with anybody, since well, let's see. The short version of me, I do write music. I'm more of a I've been on this experimental phase lately, but I mostly gravitate toward a lot of jazz. And at the moment, I'm a student at Full Sail University, taking up a degree in audio production. And, well, that's about, as far as I can go with that. Now, I do sing. I just don't talk about it a lot. I don't know why. I don't. I've always had this, I don't know what the word is called. Maybe it's self-conscious, if that's the way to put it, about it. And, I mean, like I said, I'm not even at, normally I'd be at my computer, but I'm just like, wait a minute. Oh, the interview. I forgot. I guess I'll join a little bit.
Thanks
so I just picked it. But I remember to be here. I mean, I'm just like curious. You said you studied, is it classically then? So is it like you sing like opera, or what kind of music?
Yes, exactly. So it is operatic singing. Although I sing all sorts of things now, so from opera and sacred music and music theatre and some contemporary music when asked, but predominantly I have been operatically trained, yes. So I'm a soprano opera singer. And anyone who wants to can visit my website, and that's www.sandragayer.com, SANDRAGAYER.com. And there's audio clips and video clips of me singing, and there's dramas and things there as well. And extracts of one or two animations.
Wow. Oh, wow. That is so cool. That sounds amazing.
That's really cool.
And your books, what do you read, like for certain organizations, or like for how does that work? How do you get?
Yeah, it can be. Sometimes it can be ongoing for a particular client. So there's a few companies I've worked for in that vein, where you're almost a narrator in residence or something. And other projects can be standalone. So I'm about to embark on one of those shortly. It's a children's book, and I've just finished recording series 2 of Akado Ultimate Warriors, and that series 1 released last summer, and I believe series 2 will release this summer. I'm a 12-year-old child in it, and it's set in a video game environment, fighting and so on and so forth.
That's so cool.
Very fun.
So like,
awesome.
Yeah, voices and accents are sort of my specialty. With
same.
That is amazing.
Same. Yeah, I do similar stuff. How much would you charge for like a simple intro? Do you think?
Wouldn't necessarily talk about that on air. I just don't think there's a place for that on air. I think that would be an email discussion to have.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's something on a professional level. That's true.
I wouldn't mind talking about it on air, but that's just me though. So.
Right. I mean,
I don't have any prices on my website, and people like sometimes say that, and for me, it's really about if the person wants I hate to use the term product because I'm not a product. not a bottle of orange juice. But it's very different from like if you're in a shop where the price is the first thing you want to know. Whereas with services like this, there's a certain amount of uniqueness, in the same way that in a bookshop you could get 10 versions of the same book with a few pennies here and there, but it's the same book. But
Right.
when you're in a service situation, there is a certain amount of uniqueness. There's like, you want to work with this person or you don't. So it's that way round for me. That's how I market myself, and then talk about pricing when I find out what the person wants and how long they want it and all of that. And that's the nice thing about having representation, is certainly for my television work and stage and radio, I don't need to do this bit. My agent just does all that and I just turn up.
Yeah. Well, that's pretty
Yeah,
cool.
I see what you mean.
It can be, it can also, so, I mean, agents negotiate your fees and things, but they can also help with, I need the script ahead of time. I can't magic a Braille script, if they hand me a bit of print paper on the day. So I do need that 2-3 days in advance. And my agent is good at securing that for me and making sure that if it's a PDF, it's an accessible PDF, because you all know that not all PDFs are made equal.
Right.
But I prefer Word documents as a
Same.
So, yeah.
Same.
I get that at my college. Always. I always have to be calling it in.
The joys of Braille production. So I'm fortunate or blessed to have my own embosser. So that definitely cuts down on time, because then I don't have to send the document to a company and then get a quote and a turnaround for multiple days and then lose more time. With Braille music, I don't produce that myself. I do rely on transcribers for that. And I have a pool of them, so that if one or two of them are busy or can't give me that within a few weeks turnaround, then I'll go to another one.
Yeah, it's definitely a good thing to have all those good resources. That's good.
Definitely.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's been awful nice to meet you. I'm going to definitely stay here a little while. Like I said, I started late, but I'm going to just enjoy myself here in the background, just listening, as I don't have anything else that I would need to ask. But I was just curious since I was late. But I'm going to just I'll be here in the background, and Sandra, I'll probably check out your musical side. Sounds like you have some very unique things to bring to the world, and that's really, really cool. But I'm going to be in the background. I'm not going to interrupt again to simply say, "Oh, I'm leaving." So I'll just quietly leave, because I am a full-time college student at this point, but I just started everything late. So I'll probably just be here long enough to have my coffee and get myself started at least. And when it's time to start the reading and all that, I'm going to just quietly depart. So it was very nice to meet you. And
likewise.
Yeah, I certainly hope that your day goes well. And I know the rest of this team certainly will treat you with the utmost respect. So certainly nice to meet you. And yeah, you certainly do have a really, I'm not seriously saying this just to say it, but I've always found people with foreign accents really sound cool to me. I just wanted to tell you that you really do have a cool accent.
Yeah, you do. I do accents as well, so I can actually do British and Scottish, and my favorite one to do is...
Whoa, that's cool. We'll have to hear you. One of these days.
My favorite one to do is a Welsh accent, though I'm working on it.
Yeah, you should get lessons from Tori Zeigler. She lives in Wales. She's on the ACB. So she really does live in Wales. So you do well to chat with her.
Well, that would be very, very cool. I would like that. I would like that very much.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a gamer, and I've actually recently played a game that actually takes place in the UK, and it really goes into depth on the different accents. Accents. That many people over there have, and so it's
absolutely unique. Well, okay. Well, Sandra, and to all of the rest of you, I'm going to catch you all. I'm going to be here, but I'm not going to again simply say, oh, I'll catch you all later. I'll just depart when I'm ready. So I'm going to simply say in the meantime that I'll be here and I'll catch you all, hopefully Wednesday, right?
Yep, Wednesday we'll be back on our normal schedule.
Yep, see you Wednesday, and Wednesday is going to be exciting. I'm looking forward to Wednesday.
Oh boy, am I gonna have to cut early?
No. No, Casey is going to be making an appearance on Wednesday.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's basically, for Sandra's benefit, I got an old piece of technology, which is like 30, 40 years old at this point, the Language Master from Franklin.
Oh, yeah, you cannot buy them now. Yes, I have mine from my school days. Every time I hear anyone on the internet say, have you got one? Can you sell one? It's like, not on your life. Hanging on to that. My mum was telling me a few months ago, it's like, you could sell that. I was like, why would I do? Why?
I bought mine. I bought mine on the internet from the Blind Dad's List before I was banned. But I am not going to get into that right now, as that is beyond the scope of today's discussion. If you would like to hear the story on that and what all went down, you can keep an eye out. There will be a video posted shortly to my YouTube channel. But in the meantime, let's get back to the topic at hand.
Well, folks, if you're just joining us, you're listening to VisionCast, our special interview today with Sandra Gayer. Awesome individual with a lot of talent. So.
Oh yeah.
And
by the way, I'm gonna jam out to some UK radio after this show. Just saying.
We have a lot of stuff in common, Sandra and I. We both sing. We both do voiceover stuff.
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry about that.
We do acting, although mine's amateur. I don't.
It's just that because it's already, I think, 25 too. So I was just
checking.
My time, please. It's for that.
Okay.
Zoned out brain there.
Everything okay?
Yeah.
She was just checking to see how much time she had left.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
So does anybody else have any further questions for her? Let's get back to the topic at hand.
I'm gonna go ahead and go next. I sent it in the chat, but why I muted because I was having lunch.
Yes.
So yeah, but now I'm here now. It's not a question, it's actually a comment. I did check out the website. Your website is awesome, by the way. It's really clean, well laid out. And
I did have a sighted design team, just putting that out.
Yeah, the design team did a pretty good job. It's really nice. But anyway, I checked out your demos, and my favorite demo happens to be the one where the wingback tone plays, and it's a different wingback tone. It sounds like when you're calling internationally, you hear beep beep instead of the regular beep, like the regular beep for U.S. customers. When U.S. customers call, they hear a U.S. wingback, wingback. But then when you call in the U.K., you hear a U.K. wingback, which sounds a bit shorter.
Okay.
I kind of like that one. That was pretty cool. And you said it clearly. Thank you for calling. Oh shoot, what was that?
It's a comedy sort of on hold message ad. So
that is so funny.
That was part of a voice
I'll say.
Yeah, I know which one you
mean
now. Yes.
That was a pretty good one. I have to ask you though, since we were talking about equipment and things, and Angela mentioned her old older technology, the Franklin
Oh yeah, the language master.
I wanted to ask you this. What equipment do you use currently now for your initial setup for recording voiceovers and things of that nature? And what are the models, model number, and well, not number, but model, specifically
Oh, we
brand.
were gonna get
If
specific.
people want to know about not fully, just
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a great question. And I'm going to be really annoying and say that it depends on what the job is and where I am, because I have quite a complicated setup for audio production on my desktop computer, which has the internet switched off on it because I wanted to preserve an awful lot of various programs. So it is, well, overall, I use Focusrite products for the sound cards. I have a number of sound cards. One of them is a Scarlett 6i6, and it's what it sounds like. So it has 6 inputs, 6 outputs. Regarding the outputs, so the speaker end of things, there's only 2 of them that are fully accessible. The other 4, you need the software, which isn't accessible yet. So I'm a tester for them, and they are very keen on disability, and they've been on various expos to talk about how keen they are to help the visually impaired community. So that's the sound card end. I'm recording our session with a Focusrite Solo sound card. I also have some preamps. So sound cards tend to have built-in preamps, but they're not anywhere near as good as the dedicated ones. And the one I'm using at the moment is Golden Age Project JR, which stands for junior, and I think it's 70 or 73, something like that. And all that is a dedicated preamp, and then the microphone plugs into that. This is a condenser microphone. It's a Neumann TLM 102, which is a very nice Neumann microphone. So you can have that brand, but the fairly affordable end of that. So anyone who has spent 5 minutes or less in the recording business will know how many thousands their microphones cost. And this one is just under that group. So it's the smaller production company end. So the setup for this is the computer, then the sound card plugs into the computer, the preamp plugs into the sound card, the microphone plugs into the preamp. Now, with my higher end setup at home with the full scale audio production and stuff that I've got on my desktop, I've got a preamp that is a warm audio preamp, and it also has EQ in it. And I prefer my plugins to not be plugins, but outboard gear. So whether it's EQ or reverb and things like that, I like them as knobs, not sliders on a screen that I have to listen to and do number crunching. So I can just do it by ear, turn this up, turn that down. Okay, that's too much, that's too little. So that's how I do that. And I paid obscenely for it, but when you have your eyes on the numbers, metaphorical eyes, then you can work out what you have and what you can afford to do. And when you are working on different projects, it's quite interesting for me because I found that my voiceover work, especially the work I want, like the animations and long form projects like that, didn't really take off till after I got some of the expensive equipment. Not that they would have known that, but it's almost like there was a sacred alignment there, you know, because before that I wouldn't have been ready for all this lovely work. But you don't know what you don't know when you don't know it. So I have, so with that setup, with the desktop high-end things, I have the computer, then the 6i6 into the computer, then the preamp / EQ into the sound card, then the microphone into the preamp / EQ. And I also use VSTs, so that's virtual instruments. And I use a MIDI keyboard as a control surface to do that. And when I'm doing that, I have that plugged in using MIDI into the sound card. That's why I use a 6i6, because some of the outputs and inputs include MIDI in and out. And I wanted that. So they do say to grow into your equipment, but I'm a believer in getting what you can actually afford and what you need. And then when you have the work and you can invest in what you need after that, then get that, rather than punching above your weight. That's quite a saying that people
Right.
now, and then people justify doing badly because they're punching above their weight, and that's not always a good thing.
Yeah, I actually have a bit of a small home studio setup that's like centered around my my iPad. I'm not much of a PC user, mainly because I like a simpler setup. But I yeah, you mentioned the Scarlett Focus, and I actually recently got well, as part of the expansion that I actually got, I actually had actually got a bundle that actually came with a Scarlett Focusrite 2i2, some patch
That's
cables,
what I
and
started with.
yeah, and a couple of studio monitors. I got them from Sweetwater, and so yeah, I like that's pretty much like all part of my my small setup. I still gotta get some extra cables and also a USB hub, but like yeah, that's very awesome.
My setup is very simple. What was that?
Sorry. I was going to ask, I could not step away when the subject of technology was going to come over. This is bad. This is a bad day to be here. I should be reading up on my class this week if I'm going to have my birthday off. Oh dear. Okay. Well, I guess I'm going to start later, but I'm going to have to really go at like 5,000 miles a minute tomorrow.
Good luck with that. Yeah.
No, I'm kind of kidding. It's just that I would finish by Friday. It's just that Friday's my birthday, and my thing is, even though things have to be turned in by Sunday, I don't like to work weekends if I can help it. So
Yeah.
That sounds like a good ethos. There was something on ACB with one of the trainings for hosts, because I do hosting for them too, and they were asking what your favorite thing to do on a weekend is, and I thought, when was the last weekend I actually had off? I do 7-day weeks sometimes, recently all the time.
yeah.
That's where prayer can come in handy. It can be a bit of an enclave to just step out of it all and be calm and pray.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
when I was actually going to school, well, in college, I was also like working on when I was working on my first album, Home. I actually had sort of like a personal policy for myself. I would pick a Tuesday, a schedule of Tuesdays and Thursdays for classes, so that the other days I could actually avoid the possibility of going on Friday, and so I would actually pick I would use the days in between to catch up on schoolwork or work on my music. And so as I made it an effort to like get everything done before the weekend, so I could actually get to working on my music. So yeah, all about time management. So
Yeah, well, then
Exactly.
you usually tell what happens with me.
Too, with
What tends to happen with me lately, because I'm going through this, plus I'm taking advanced jazz and kind of sort of intermediate classical training as well. It's, oh, you should seriously just see the times I go to bed because I want to get into something with my music or anything with practice or whatever.
Yeah, it is difficult because, you know, as we were saying earlier, I wear lots of hats, and
Right.
part of how I keep all the hats in the right places is discipline and knowing what I need to do by certain times and how long it takes me to do certain things. Because sometimes, you know, with us disabled people, it takes us longer than somebody able-bodied to do things, or we might need sighted help with something. And it's about knowing that beforehand, so we're not chasing our tail all the time, which is easier said than done, I know, because
That's true.
I've been on both
Yes.
sides of that.
Yep, I highly agree on that. We all actually agree. And you mentioned the condenser microphone earlier. I have one right in front of me actually, and it's the Rode NT1A. And
Yeah, that
I
was
have.
one that I started with. You're all taking me back.
Yeah, well, I had a mixer slash I had a mixer before that, but it's in storage right now. I have now the PodTrack P4, and I love it. I love the little guy, but the problem is with the P4, when you patch it through the Zoom platform, everyone's been telling me the EQ volume gets kind of low and stuff, so I had to switch back to my
Yeah, I mean,
computer.
that's because Zoom is altering the levels all the time. It has a sort of
Ah,
automatic level adjustment thing. So it sounds like your kit is at the mercy of that. So
yeah,
there is
yeah.
a way of turning that off, and
I
don't
might
ask
have
me
Turn
to.
it
how.
off in Zoom preferences, the
Yes,
automatic.
yeah,
Yes.
since Angela is doing her thing. No, not
His
again.
thing? His thing?
Her thing of
And I didn't get to talk about my setup yet, Doodles.
Okay,
And
okay.
his thing,
All
geez.
right, let me
He's
let you
taken.
hold on. Okay, hold on. Let me let you do your setup, and then I'll get into the last bit of my
I
setup.
have
Sorry
to
for
get
the.
going. So, would you like to go first? Then
Yeah,
I'll go, and then I
I needed
leave.
to go about 10 minutes ago anyway, so is that,
Oh
yeah. Well, I
no!
mean,
You okay?
originally, like, I did think it was going to be like an interview, like a sort of standard interview kind of thing, where it was like, so I
Oh
was like, yeah, I know,
It
I know.
started off like that. It started off like that. And then it got into
It
all of
got
us
a bit
talking about our
random
setup.
about
Other things.
technology. Yeah,
I mean,
which is
there's
fine.
great questions, guys.
I know.
But I was saying to Angela that I'd allowed sort of half hour / 40 minutes.
Yeah, I thought that would
and it
be
is.
sufficient. I didn't know we were
Okay,
going to go
well,
crazy.
Yeah.
okay. I think I better just go. I mean, like I said, I haven't done anything, and I need to. So,
Alrighty.
Okay, well, best of luck with the college work and everything, and
Good
hope
luck
it
at
goes well.
college, Denise, and I will see you on either in the group chat or I'll see you Wednesday for the main episode recording.
yeah, I'll stay here a little bit. I'm just gonna get coffee. As soon as I finish the
Oh, okay.
coffee, I'm gonna leave.
All
So
right.
I'm gonna mute. I'm just gonna stop talking. But if we were supposed to let her go a while ago, apologies on that.
Well, because we asked her about her
Yeah,
equipment,
so
and
what,
once we asked her, yeah.
what's left to do? Talk about the different setups, and then what's left to
And
Not
then
really
and
much
then
after that. I mean,
Probably go through our shout outs.
I'll just make sure nobody else has any.
well, you don't need me for that, do you? Or do
No,
you?
not for the shoutouts. Unless,
No.
But we'll see if anybody else has any last minute stuff. But my setup
Yeah.
is like the simplest in the world because I don't have thousands of bucks to spend. I have a Blue Yeti that my girlfriend bought me, and I have my Olympus LS14, which I'm using right now as my microphone because it's more portable. But I may end up having to switch back to my Yeti because I can't seem to figure out how to control the gain on this thing and
I don't
mute
think
it
that's
very easily.
possible.
Katie.
So I may have to go back to my. I was gonna give Haley my spare Yeti, but I may have to tell her sorry. But I kind of need it. But yeah, that's my setup, and then
Yeah, because the Yeti sounds a lot better, anyways. Because with the LS14,
For
I think I've heard
talking,
from
yes.
other recorders, talking is fine, but when you want to use it as a microphone, there's no
Yeah.
dang way to turn down the dang
No.
levels. And
it's
stuff,
better
so,
to use it as a recorder than as a microphone.
Yeah, that's what I agree to.
So
but
I think
anyway,
as of Wednesday, I'm gonna switch to the Yeti. Yeah.
as for me, sorry, Denny. As for me, real quickly, as for me, Since Angela is doing a great job at using audio hijack and stuff like that, what I want to do for me is actually I have not tried it yet, but on Wednesday for the main episode only, this is only for the main episode. For Showcase 7, it doesn't apply, but for the main episode only, I'm going to record using the P4 externally instead of using the computer. And then there is a nice feature where you can edit the multi-track files individually as opposed to editing the mixed down version, so that way everyone can
That's
be heard
gonna be a real pain in the butt for Denny. You realize that, right? Just do it as one mix. Do it as one mixed down track. Just do it like with your internal. Besides, yeah.
Everybody's in mono anyway.
Oh, all right. Well, I just thought of it, but
Yeah, I'm in
but
mono,
since you
and
told
I'll
me
send this
since
to
you
you,
told me to
Angela,
use
for
internal,
future
I was like, all right, I'll go back to plan A. But I just thought of the idea. But since you said
All
it,
right.
I made it.
Well,
But anyway,
Back to the subject of
Off topic for her, honestly.
okay. What, Denny? Because we're gonna have to. I was gonna ask if anybody had any more questions for her, because I know she's got to get going. So
I don't
I
have
hate to cut this
questions.
short, but
What?
And this is going to be real quick. There's one last piece of my setup that I didn't mention, and it's the microphone, and also the studio headphones. I forgot the actual name of the headphones, but my headphones and my microphone are both Audio Technica. For the mic, I actually use the AT4050. So.
Well, if we're going to
I
talk about
forgot to
setups,
mention my headphones. So my studio headphones are Aerodynamic 150, but I'm in the market for different ones now.
we're going to talk about setups. I'll run.
Headphones today.
Sorry about that. I didn't mean to keep cutting you off. If we're going to talk about setups really, really fast, I'll make my stuff extremely short and sweet. Well, I have a very small setup because I have a tiny, tiny room. Some of my friends that do have some vision can totally vouch for that, as they've seen stuff on camera over Zoom meetings. So, 'cause I live in a trailer, so I'm practically the only person that's taking a degree in this. And my brother, well, doesn't want to give up his other room, which was mine. But whatever, at least I have all my equipment and my essentials. But I have one of those 3-platform desk setups, but I can't use the bottom because if we open it, we bunk my keyboard. Now, I wish I could be in the whole thing of hardware, but I can't. Like I said, space. I live in a trailer, so I really have to depend on a lot of software. So I have, let's see, MacBook, computer, but I also have, when I need Windows. Bless you.
Thank you.
I go through boot camp for that. So I have one of the 2019 MacBook Pros computers. Not going to go into specs to avoid all the, forever here. What else do I have? My keyboard is and I have a complete control by Native Instruments.
That's the keyboard I have, but I didn't know about not going on about brand names and things, so I didn't do that.
Okay. Oh, cool. Oh, nice. Then, yay! I'm feeling good company.
Yeah. It's a steep learning curve, but loving the talking menus, and with acoustic treatment, because that's the key aim of voiceover. You don't, people aren't going to employ you if you sound like you're talking in a bathroom.
That's never a good thing.
Yeah, and you'd be surprised once you start analyzing the acoustics in your house or your trailer or wherever you live, then it starts to become quite an obsession. So this has been.
There's no way I can afford that. I wish I could, but
mine at home was a more expensive one, so it's a portable vocal booth and the microphone is in that. But what I'm sitting in now is basically wardrobe. I've taken all the clothes out. My father hung up some toweling and some carpet behind me, and I've got clothes above me. So you don't have to spend lots of money or even any money, because everyone's probably got a spare towel they don't use and a bit of carpet they probably don't use. So a few nails and things. just to create that illusion of an anechoic space, or as anechoic as possible, which is the opposite of echo. And it's about it's
Stop.
about
Sorry.
keeping the sides.
I'm afraid you triggered my device. That's okay.
Oh yeah, I heard it.
Okay.
Oh,
What did I say to trigger
Do you
that?
see a
She said the E word.
Oh,
Alrighty.
echo.
So is that your whole setup
I
there?
see, echo. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Sorry about
exactly.
that.
No, it's okay.
Yeah, when I was okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's okay.
Sorry
No,
about that.
okay, so
yes, so making the chamber that you're in as a flat reference dead sound as opposed to reverberant.
I mean it is pretty flat, but the thing is the outside is the fun part, because of course my room right outside is our living room, and so in order for me to even record things like vocals, I just have to wait till everybody's asleep or till I'm alone.
Yeah, I get my family to be silent, and they're behaving beautifully for twice as long as they expected to. So I will.
But yeah, really quickly, I'm just going to finish here before we get sidetracked again. For the MacBook, right, and then I have the rest of this equipment beyond I bought myself the keyboard, but the microphone, I have a Shure SM58. Yes, but although that was after
the
discussion.
SM58S is better than the 58 because the 58 has a lot of brightness in it, and if your voice is already bright, then it just makes some of those things worse. So it's fine if it's a man, because their voices aren't bright, let's face it. There's sort of dark overtones, and the brightness in the SM58 enhances what they don't have. But us girlies have plenty of that, and we don't need any more. So the SM58S tends to even that out a little bit, and then you can do singing and speaking and all sorts of things with it.
I didn't even think of it.
I don't like them for recording because they're dynamic microphones.
Alrighty, so
learn something new.
Does anyone else have any questions for her? Because we've kept her longer than we anticipated.
Well, I'll stop here. I didn't have much else to say, but like I said, we all keep getting, into all kinds of comments. So
yeah,
I have like one last thing to say about my sort of the sort of room setting that actually have, but I'll keep it quick. And I thought I get panning for home padding for my room, but I to help with acoustics. I whenever I'm gonna record, I keep my bathroom doors shut, and also I close the vents because my room is right next to the and plus I have an acoustic field, so they can go around the microphone and talk over it. So that's pretty much it.
Oh, cool. All right, everyone.
We're going to talk about the rest of this because we're seriously. I didn't even expect it to go there, but yeah.
Okay, everybody. Well, does anyone have any last minute questions they'd like to ask her? Because we know she's on a bit of a time crunch.
Yep. Well, I was going to say, for me, Sandra, I guess it's safe to say on behalf of me and the rest of the team, thank you for what you're doing and, what you're continuing to do. You definitely have like we said in the beginning, a woodwork of talent, and we just, want to let you all know that we appreciate you and everything, and you're welcome back here anytime.
Definitely. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for giving us part of your night. We definitely appreciate having you.
I know it's kind of late over there where you are, and UK and US are completely different time zones, but you're welcome to come back. As Preston said, any time. We would love to have you come back for a part 2 in the future. And could you disclose your website one more time so that people can find you on there and all that?
Absolutely. So my website is www.sandragayer.com, and that's spelled SANDRA SandraGayer.com. I trust it will appear in the show notes.
Yes.
Yes, it will
make
appear in the
it's
show
gonna be
notes
on
once
there.
it gets posted, and we can't thank
Definitely.
you enough because you are amazing, you are talented, you are giftedly awesome, and hopefully we'll have you back again in the future when time crunch is less, and maybe in the future if you want to check out Showcase Heaven with Angela 3011, maybe you can send some recordings to Angela and then she'll feature it.
That's every Saturday from 3 to 5 Eastern, which would be 8
That'll
to
be
10
8 to
UK.
10.
So
Wow.
I'll look it up if there's recordings and stuff. I'll look it up and
Yeah.
have a play with it.
All right. Well, Sandra.
Yeah.
Well, Sandra, thanks again for your time.
Yeah, certainly.
Likewise.
And I guess we'll go ahead and let you go. We got kind of random here. That's kind of what happens on this team. That's
Yeah, we do get
Yeah, at
random,
least I
so
know
then
what the format is like now.
yeah, we do get random. So next time you're on the show with us, be fair warned that it will get random. So
Well, it did start off as a standard
it started
interview.
off okay. Yeah, it did start off okay as a standard interview, nonetheless. But then it got random towards
Then
the
it
end,
got
which
random.
is fine too.
Right, so I'll send you WeTransfer Angela. It'll be because I'm gonna have my dinner now. She says in hope, and I will
Okay.
send that to you through WeTransfer. And,
All right, I think
let
we
me know
should-
when it airs.
Definitely, I think we should be okay because I've got this recording, and but if we need a backup, definitely, it's awesome.
Yeah, you might want to use bits of mine because there's bits where we were overlapping and stuff, but it's there if you want it.
Okay, well, thank you so much for your time. We definitely appreciate it.
No props. Take care. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye. Well, that was really amazing, guys. The interview felt fantastic. It went standard and then it went random. This is how we do our standard interviews from time to time. So, we're going to do a couple quick announcements. First of all, we're back on our normal schedule this upcoming Wednesday, as I said in the beginning. We'll be back on our normal time, 3 to 5 Eastern time. There'll be more interviews in the pipeline, but that will have to wait until after ACB convention is concluded, because a lot of people from ACB that I've contacted have been crazy busy, but hopefully that will be probably around August. And June is almost here, guys. The big celebration is going to happen this upcoming June, so we are fast approaching. And as soon as we get closer, me, Angela, and the team will share more details about it as we're getting closer and everyone is invited. Alright, so I think that's about it. Before we go, let's do our usual shout-outs. Angela, you go first.
Well, shout out to our guest, Sandra. We really appreciate her taking the time to join us this evening for her time. Morning for me and afternoon for all you guys on the East Coast. And shout out to the whole VisionCast team. Shout out to my boyfriend George and my girlfriends Haley and Leona. And shout out to all our listeners. You guys are great.
Alright, Denise, go ahead. You're next. If you're still here.
No, I'm gone.
Whoa! Blooper! Go ahead,
Just
Denise.
messing. I am just messing. You know that when we stop needing to be so professional, I'm gonna break out my silliness hat. Seriously, shout out to Sandra for sure. That was very awesome to meet her. She sounds like she's a very sweet, lovely lady who really does have a strong passion for her work. The rest of the team, certainly to all of you guys, all at once, you are all very cool. I certainly appreciate you all as a new set of friends I can count on through all kinds of stuff. And I certainly have enjoyed being a part of this. Since the beginning, I've always felt like there's a sense of special, welcoming environment and just very nice vibes here, as the best way I can put it. I just feel like this is like my second, my second
Oasis.
home. Yeah,
Second
no,
home, basically. Yeah.
just to be, to be me, and I'm just grateful, for acceptance and all that you guys certainly provide. Always being here is just an awesome highlight. So I certainly appreciate that. I appreciate you all, and yeah, here's to certainly many, many more.
Definitely.
Okay,
All right.
we're going to keep things moving here. Next will be Denny, aka H Streets. Go ahead, Denny.
Shout out to the entire VisionCast team. Also, shout out to Sandra. If you're listening to the video or just the podcast recording on whichever platform. It was very nice meeting you, and it seems like you really have a lot to offer, and so yeah.
Definitely.
George, you're next.
Shout out to Angela, Riona, my viewer around, of course. Riona, JC, the whole gang. It was a great interview. He sounds like a wonderful person and very talented and smart and just has it all together. So that's awesome.
And last but not least, it's Preston, and then I will close with the shout out and sign off. Go ahead, Preston.
Yes. Shout out goes to everybody on the team, as always, our listeners and supporters. And also, great job and great work to Sandra for coming on and showing us, how things get done. And like I said, I very much enjoy her work and conversating. Like I said in the beginning of the interview, I got a chance to go to the Jobs World seminar that the community puts on every month. And it helped me in my goal, in getting back to the workforce and looking forward to my field. And I just hope the event I go to on Thursday virtually will open up many more doors for me. Because let's face it, I'm ready to get back to work, as we've all been saying off and on over the past year. So, Sandra, thank you for all you do. And like I said, you're welcome back anytime. And like I said, June's fast approaching, folks. This weekend's Memorial Day weekend. And all that. So with that, I'm gonna grab food, and then I got a podcast to record in about a couple hours. Which, by the way, shameless plug. Besides our news and things coming up on Radio Connection Live, we will be bringing you some tornado coverage from St. Louis that took place last week. So,
Wait, what coverage? Tornado?
yeah, they had a tornado in St. Louis.
Oh, tornado!
Oh,
bummer.
I got the same system as many people around the country did, but luckily mine wasn't that bad. Friday was tornado watch. Yes, it was severe thunderstorm watch. So no confirmed tornadoes here, but they did have a lot of action happening down there in the big STL, and you'll hear that on this week's Radio Connection. So please stand by for that. Anyway, I'm starving, so I'm done.
Well, have a good.
Best of luck with your podcast, Preston, and
Yep.
yeah, best
and
of
I'll
luck
see you
with
tonight
that.
at 7.
Yes, we'll be there.
All
Okay.
right, later, Preston.
See you
All right, I guess
later.
it's my turn since Preston since they already shared their shout outs and stuff. Shout out goes to the entire VisionCast team. You all are awesome. Thank you for this amazing interview. This has been a huge success, and I know that Sandra will come back in the near future. Thanks again, Sandra, for coming on and sharing what your equipment you've been using are and all that good stuff. we like I said, we are definitely gonna have you back in the future. And of course, shout out to all my friends and family. And again, we are back this Wednesday, so join me at our normal time, 3 to 5 Eastern. And don't forget, Showcase Heaven with Angelo 3011 is back on a normal schedule this Saturday, so make sure you send your recordings to the email address provided in the previous episode, the main episode. So if you want to send an email to her with recordings that if you're not going to make it, send recordings over to her, and she'll be able to put them in the queue and get it ready if you guys won't be able to make it for whatever reason. So, am I missing anything, Angela? Is that it?
No, that's everything. Yep, you're good.
All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for listening. You all take care, and I will see you on Wednesday for the main episode, or I will see most of you on other episodes that Wednesday after that. Mm-hmm. And make sure you catch the replay of Showcase Heaven with Angela 3011 if you missed the last one, or catch us this weekend for the live recording as well with Angela. So with that, remember, always keep technology alive. Let's remember to do that. And with that being said, we're out of here. Peace.